So we on now?
Not just yet. We getting there. All right. If you are on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, you can now share the link. We will get ready to start the show shortly.
Is my fan? Y'all can hear my fan? Is it bothering you guys?
I can't hear it.
I can't hear it at all, bro.
Good shit. What about now? Cause I'm high. I'm putting it up higher.
Nah.
All right, cool. Woo! I'm ready.
Ghetto.
The ghetto. To everybody that's just jumping on our live feed right now, this is another special edition brought to you by Concrete Comics TV in conjunction with Head Nerds in Charge. And we got a special guest, once again, the new Kuzo, Grandmaster Facts. We're about to get into this MCU top 10 debate. Sit tight, get right. We're going to start in a few minutes. But what I need you to do is hit that share button. Stop playing. We already know that the world's burning, but take a few minutes out of your time of your day to sit down with your favorite black nerds and have a little fun and get your mind off of things for a few seconds. The oppressor will be there in the morning. Trust and believe me. But just sit tight, get right, and we'll be right with you in a few minutes.
All right.
Look, now I got you singing that.
Talk about the ghetto.
The ghetto.
Yo, you already know.
You gotta get real soulful in here, right?
The ghetto.
You gotta hit that part where you go.
It's burning the ghetto. I'll say one thing about the protesters. At least they burning down affluent neighborhoods for once and not their own hood.
Exactly,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you.
I'm trying to find it online. Where is it?
Head Nerds in Charge Facebook page.
All right, cool.
So I see it on Head Nerds in Charge, but it don't give me no share button.
Oh, it definitely. I got the share button. Here, if you are
doing
on my
phone.
personal.
Going on my phone, it don't show no share button at all.
Hold on, I got you.
Open the video and just hit the share.
Yeah, you got to open the video, Lonzo.
Bro, I'm literally on it, bro. Look, I just commented and everything. Hold on. Let me see.
You sure it's the same one, Lonzo?
Yes. This one right here, right? Look.
I got mine.
I got the share button.
I don't know. I don't no share button. I might still be in jail. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, if you're in jail, you can't share nothing, Negro.
Oh,
man.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that, Big Tuna?
Oh,
You locked up. They won't let you out.
free Big Tuna, man. Man.
Sorry, brother.
All right. So I can share Jamil's, but I can't go into the page and share my own.
Well, yeah, because apparently you're a fugitive of Zuckerberg.
I'm a fugitive, bro.
Hey, how he treat me? I tried to get him out.
No, he didn't.
But he keep disrespecting me.
Ah!
Whoa, bro. I ain't never do that.
Shit.
All right. We're going to get ready to get started in a few minutes, folks. Just sit on down, sit tight, because we're going to be discussing your top 10 MCU moments in a few minutes. Now, I need y'all to collect your thoughts and get in your mind what would be your top 10. It's a lot of material to go over in a short amount of time. So I need the comments to be popping, because if they say something out of pocket, I need y'all to G-check them, because I'll be looking in the comments. We're going to set this up as 10 rounds. Each round, an individual will take away the round. The one with the most accumulated rounds at the end of this will be crowned a winner. Now, if there is a tie at the end of this, we'll have to figure it out because when we get there, because we didn't think that far ahead. So hopefully there won't be a tie, but if there is, we will discuss it when we get to the end of today's 10th round. Gentlemen, are y'all all prepared and ready and have your argument set?
Yes.
I'm all the way ready.
All right. So we will begin with round number 10. And of course, we got Grandmaster Facts all the way from the Party Nerds podcast. If you don't mind, good brother, could you introduce yourself to the people?
What's going on, folks? I'm James Boyce, Grandmaster Facts from the Party Nerds podcast, and I'm here with my brothers today because outside of the struggle of what's going on here, at least you get to see our creativity on screen, and we finna nail this the fuck down.
Amen to that, brother. And we got the three creative geniuses that are the driving force behind Concrete Comics. First, I want to start off with my brother all the way from ATL, which is my home away from home. You know, I listen, boy, y'all got some good food, and even better women. If you could be so kind as to introduce yourself, my man Hnic.
What's up? My name is Onaji. Gang, 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 gang.
Gang, gang.
I like what you did with your hair. You listen, that thing flowing today. You got your crown out.
You know, got the
You know, I'm jealous. And I guess this next guy, oh, he took the hat off. All right, now I can be nice now. Hey, my man.
Wait. You got to say the best for last. Say the best for last next.
Wow. Well, we appreciate your modesty, Mel. All right, well, I put it like this. He's a shining star, no matter who he is. But I like to call him Lonzo, but some of the friends call him Big Tuna. Could you be so kind as to introduce yourself to the people?
Hey, listen, live from Wakanda. You know what I mean? I'm on house arrest right now.
You look like it.
Man.
You broadcasting live from Tekashi back porch?
Oh, man.
Nah, brother. Nah, I ain't out here like, ha.
Lonzo got the sticky with the blicky.
Nah, man. Hey, listen, but so my name is Lonzo Starr, you know, writer of Acolyte, creative Acolyte, CEO of Concrete Comics, and I'm here to bust my brother's asses. You know what I'm saying?
Woo! They already talking heavy. We already talking heavy. We ain't even get started yet. Y'all talking heavy.
Whoa.
All right. Last, but I never like saying least because this brother cannot be quantified by the word least because he's too great in his potential and talent. Oh wait, I already introduced Lonzo. I guess I will go there. Don't be like that. I love you, Bill. Don't listen. You my guy.
I'm listening.
You my guy. Come on.
You see the biasness? You cannot judge.
Wow.
Listen. We in it now. Let it go. But the third leg. That's a terrible way of introducing it.
Third leg.
Whoa.
You just.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, Jamel. I didn't mess up. Listen, I didn't mean turn off his camera. Don't be like that. Come back, Jamel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The third leg. This is going to be a hell of a show. Jamil, introduce yourself to people before I mess it up again.
My name is Jamil Lessie. I'm the creator of Absolver, and Kurt stole my shows. I don't know what to tell you.
I am so sorry. I'm sorry.
Concrete, man, that's gonna stick.
Yo,
why do I always get a little brother? No matter where I go, I get a little brother. Like that don't make no sense.
Yo, are you the realest gangster out of the group? I don't want no problems, bro. Listen. I don't want no smoke. Listen, I tell these jokes behind the camera in my own home. I still got to see you in the streets. I don't want these problems. But either way, the real battle is about to start right now. And it ain't me you got to worry about. It's the brothers that you see next to you. It be your own people, folks. So we're about to get into the top 10 MCU moments. And we're going to start off first with Hnic. So in the first round, that's right. I'm going to keep it. It's going to be random. You're going to have to deal with it.
Okay.
Hnic, for your 10th pick, your 10th moment in the MCU, what is your pick?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Kurt. I think.
Oh, did he put the glasses on?
Is going to be
wait a minute, hold on.
Captain America and Bucky versus Iron Man in Civil War, that final fight.
Okay.
There's that one slow motion of when like Cap and America run up on each other, and you see when like he's shooting a laser and he blocking it, and it's just that one moment. It's just like
it's Soldier.
Oh yeah,
and that's the one where they want to shield helicarrier, right?
No, it was when they
was inside that bunker.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. All right. I just want to make sure so we, ain't no confusion because I can't pull up pictures like I used to as quick because people like to send Google Drives. So
sorry.
I want.
That was he was like, but he killed my father. So what? Yeah, he murked my dad.
Exactly.
You gonna have to fight both of us.
Exactly. And they were like tag teaming them at once with the shield.
Yo, and that's one of the few times you saw the double attack. Like it was basically two Brooklyn kids beating up on a rich kid who parents they killed.
Exactly. I mean, the situation was fucked up, but that was a good ass performance. Sorry.
Yo, facts. Because not too many people can say they got the one up on Iron Man. All right, Jamil, talk to me. What's your number 10?
My number 10 would be just Killmonger. That man had listen.
Okay, I'm with you.
Hey,
Oh my God.
listen. I had to throw this one in there because
But you gotta give me a scene.
how many scenes did he have?
You gotta give me don't be just throwing people out there. You gotta give me a real scene.
When he killed Black, when he threw him off the cliff, is this your king?
All right. So when he took T'Challa and basically chucked him.
Yeah, that's it. Come on, everybody loved that. Everybody talked about that scene. But Killmonger had so much going on. Like it was just hard.
I love Killmonger. I did not like that scene personally.
Mute him.
How many memes came from that?
Yeah. Oh, now wait a minute. Now, hold on. I agree with you. But see, here's my thing. Is the scene you're talking about that you're going to use him throwing him off the cliff, or when he said, "Is this your king?" That's two different scenes.
The part where he
Pick one.
Is this your king?
All right. Okay. Now I'm with you. Is this your king? Was a good listen. That we say that to everybody now.
Right.
All right. Jimmy, that was a good pick. Lonzo, talk to me.
Yo,
what's your number 10 scene in the MCU?
My number 10 was Avengers versus Ultron in the chapel. When all of them was fighting at the same time,
Gotcha.
The camera was flowing all crazy.
And you got to see Scarlet Witch's powers.
Hey, listen, seeing them all rumble like that was like it was the first time we seen them just flowing in the same atmosphere, just getting it in, just flying around. Somebody was, throwing the shield, shooting arrows, and they was all in the close quarter. Man, that thing was crazy. So that's my number 10 right there.
All right.
Black Widow kicking.
Yeah, man.
All right, I like that. Grandmaster Facts. Please drop the facts on these people.
All right, so my number 10 is based on something in particular. For one, they brought Captain Marvel in and said that she was the strongest Avenger, gave her all this hype, a movie that made $1 billion. And my number 10 spot goes to Thanos knocking the dog shit out of her with the Power Stone. He hit her so hard that she ended up in the funeral scene with Iron Man. You ain't see her no more in that whole fucking fight.
He said that's it.
They bigged her up, said she was the strongest Avenger for this long, and she gets hit one time in this big ass fucking fight, and you don't see her until Tony Stark's funeral.
It was the power gem.
It was the power gem. Hit her so goddamn hard with that shit, you ain't see it till the funeral scene.
But he didn't do that before he had that Power Stone, though.
Oh no, he didn't.
You know what
But
I'm
the one time, I'm saying the one time that he got one off on her, she was ghost. There was no more fighting.
True, though.
I do have to admit, you ain't see her again to the funeral scene.
No.
Yeah.
The next time you saw her,
I never thought about that.
They had to find a nice way to write her off. She's a broken character, man. Like
straight up and down. That's why I went low. That's my number 10, brother.
All right, so now this is the interesting thing. We're gonna take a vote. If you're in the comments right now, you can let me know who you think who you think should take this round, whether it be Grandmaster Facts, Lonzo, Jay, or Najee. But if I go ahead on, and if I could just interject here for a second. Number one, Najee, you picked a pretty critical moment in the MCU, and you dropped it down to number 10. So that was like a top 5 moment for me personally.
Yeah.
So
you didn't hear my top 5.
I know. Listen. I'm not saying that I haven't heard it. So I'm trust me. I'm keeping a close eye on you for the next 9 picks. Because
you should know that after Civil War, it gets better.
I agree. I'm not, but I will say, Jamil made a hell of an argument with is this your king? Because of the cultural implications after the fact. But once again, that's a top moment. Now y'all doing number 10s. I'm gonna take it to the chat. Does anybody got anything to say in the chat? Drop a name if you think who you think should have won that round.
Yo, tell them, Jamil.
Listen, ain't no politicking. Ain't no politicking.
Every round because you set me up to lose.
Don't be like that. I didn't set you up to lose.
Okay.
I advocated for you. Listen, this is supposed to be interactive now, y'all. Don't make me make all the decisions.
Hey, listen.
Well, I'm gonna just say this: if I got to give a round to somebody, whoever said free big tuna, if I got to give a round to somebody, I'm gonna go ahead on and I'm gonna give it to Grandmaster Facts.
Oh man!
Listen, I ain't trying to hear a whole bunch of griping in here because I'm explaining the why, and it's gonna be real short and sweet. Because everything that you three said wasn't, in my opinion, such a low-ranking moment. I can see where Grandmaster Facts can go up from there. For y'all, all your moments, in my opinion, would be top 5 moments. That's what I'm gonna leave it at. And if you got a problem with that, y'all could see me after the show because I know you can't because it's a pandemic. So now we're moving on to round number 9. And round number 9, and once again, I told you I'm keeping a close eye on you because it better get better from here. So we're gonna start in reverse with Grandmaster Facts. Grandmaster Facts, what's your number 9?
All right, my number 9 is in Black Panther, and it's M'Baku's entrance scene.
Ooh, Masa!
Bergeron, that's my number 9. His entrance. He's like, we have watched from the mountains. And your technological advances have been garnered by a child. That shit. That's number 9.
Made super famous by Kev on Stage, who made it go viral. Little kids was doing it. Bro, I like that pick.
That's my number 9.
All right. Big Tuna, talk to me.
My number 9, it would be in Guardians of the Galaxy number 1, when Star-Lord grabbed the Power Stone and the whole squad came along with him and they was rocking all heavy and the world was looking like, hold up, how is this man able to hold the Power Stone? And we ain't found out to the next movie who my man really was. Huh?
That's a good pick.
Yep.
That's a special pick because that set up a lot for Guardians of the Galaxy in the next movie because that's where we get to find out, Ego and Star-Lord ain't all the way human.
There you go.
Okay, I like that.
What? Every movie has its cheesy scene. That was kind of cheesy. I hate that scene.
That scene was, listen,
we uplifting black men today.
The importance of this scene makes sense, but is it memorable or more cheesy? It's just a cheesy scene. Like,
dog, how dope did it look to see him holding that? And he was all stressing out, body was breaking. Squad came, helped him out. Then they all.
it was kind of dope.
Come on, man. Chill out, man. Chill out.
I can already see that there's going to be a negativity in the group. I'm going to keep a close eye on it.
Right.
But I'm glad he said something because you up next. Then come on, talk to me.
Hey, simple. Avengers: Infinity War with Thanos just simply snapped his finger. Yo, that was it for me. Like, they set it up so nicely because they made you feel like they're going to get to him. And even though they couldn't, they just made you feel like, they're going to stop him in time. And obviously they did it. And when that happened, you're like,
right.
Everything after that, it was just, what can you say, bro? Everybody talked about it after that. Like, they talked about Spider-Man, everything. It was actually a tearjerker. It really was.
Did you get emotional?
tears.
I got a little emotional, bro.
All right. Oh well, you know what? Then you get kudos for the tears. Real men cry. I ain't mad at you.
I just got cried. I'm just saying. I got a little emotional.
He said there was tears, but there ain't no crying around here.
You know, that scene with Spider-Man and him talking to Tony. I mean, come on, bro. That's a memory. Listen, and you just knew that he had to snap the fingers, but they set it up so beautifully. You felt like they're gonna get this shit. And
Yeah. At the end of that, I was like, oh, they got this. Because they was getting once he got the bands of Cinerak out, I was like, we not playing at all. Okay, right, I got you. Right. All right, good one, Jeff. Anaji, you
First
come on, talk to me.
First of all, I just got to say that I want to say that Lonzo stole one off my list because my next number 9 would have been the final battle in Avengers. What was it Age of Ultron? That final battle scene. That was one of my actual top 9.
That was one. Okay, so it's okay that he took one, but you have it ranked differently at number 9 as opposed to number 10.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, I like that in its placement. That's still a heck of that's a big scene though, because that's where you really get to see Scarlet Witch go ham. That's one of the few times you see Quicksilver do something in a movie at all, because he ain't make it out of that.
That cinematography, that whole scene was just beautifully done. So, but as we go on, you'll understand the methods to my madness when I pick these scenes. So,
well, I know you're a mad genius, so I'm going, of course, always defer to you, and I'm not going to nitpick. So right now, I'm gonna check the chat. Round 9's over. And we talking. How y'all feeling? Who do you feel like won that round? Was it Lonzo? Was it Grandmaster Fax? Was it Jay? Or was it Anaji?
Jay.
Free Big Tuna.
Big Jay, because they already set me up to lose from the beginning.
See, you know, there's a lot of negativity coming over from that box.
Hey, you know,
you gotta pray for my brother.
Oh man, we got one vote for the Star Lords and the Guardians. I'm looking. Okay. Listen, this from the people. I'm only going off of what the people say. We got Star Lords and the Guardians. We have the Avengers scene where they fought Ultron, the cinematography, that particular fight scene. We have the final scene with Tony Stark and Spider-Man. And then Grandmaster Fax, could you remind me one more again?
The M'Baku entrance scene.
Right, the M'Baku entrance. So, you know, with things going on, I lean personally towards M'Baku, but this ain't about my personal feelings.
My God.
This ain't I said don't start.
Yo, Grandmaster Fax, bro, it was nice meeting you and seeing you for the first time, but you gotta go. You gotta go. Hey, your feature is over, bro. Your feature is over. Get out of here, bro.
You know what? Because you know what the sad part is? He was smart. He was like, this dude where X had every show. Let me pick all the black moments in MCU.
Bro, I went Killmonger for you, dog.
I got you.
I was gonna say he's a villain in MCU, but a hero in real life. You ain't get to let me get to my.
See, you know, it was my fault now. All right, but look,
I can explain myself.
I'm gonna put it like this. There's a comment that says the Ultron battle gets a higher ranking. So I kind of agree with that. Round number 9, in the moderator's opinion, has to go to Lonzo.
Hey,
listen. It's low enough to be a round 9 ranking, but impactful enough to be one of those moments that everybody remembers. Jamel, listen, don't.
Everybody talked about the floating city. After that movie. That's all they talked about. Memorable scenes. It's called memorable scenes. Everybody talked about the floating city, not the fight scene. Everybody talked about Peter death. This makes no sense. It's a Philly thing going on right now. Love Atlanta. And you from Philly. I see what's going on.
There are 8 more rounds to go. I'm pretty sure you will win the next show.
You know.
Listen, Now we up to round 8. Right now, Lonzo has 1 point. Grandmaster Fax has 1 point. Anaji is still sitting with a goose egg. And Jay, well, we might as well just turn his camera off. Because he ain't happy right now because he didn't get one in the first 2 rounds. But this is just early. And for those just joining us, we are going over our top 10 rankings of MCU moments. We're going round by round and we're giving points for whoever gives the most fitting scene for the ranking. So we are now at round 8.
Round 8.
And we gonna start hopping around. Jamel, impress me.
Woo.
What's your round 8 pick?
Yo, simple. When Thor showed up with the Stormbreaker in Infinity War.
Oh,
he showed up.
You know how to speak to my heart.
Yo,
bring the fellows.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's
a white man
right
showing
there.
up.
That's like a number 1. But see, now, I'm gonna give you like, because I know it's hard. It's hard for a black man in these streets. So I'm gonna give you a quick 20 to 30 seconds to explain to me why that is not a top 3 moment.
It's not a top 3 moment because, my top 3 is, to me, what, like, when he showed up with the Stormbreaker, this just him showing up in the whole fight scene was just dope. But
right.
to me, it didn't catapult anything. See, so all the scenes I'm picking moving forward, it catapulted something. You said something about a previous pick before, and I'm like, and that's in my top 5. So I just felt like memorable. It was dope. He showed up, and everybody was hyped, but that was it.
Your 30 seconds is up, but
all right.
Okay,
cool. I get it.
I know, but okay. I gotta keep an eye on you too now, because y'all really confusing me with some of these picks, but I'm respecting the flow of things. Grandmaster Fax, impress me.
Whoa.
Hey, all right, look.
He said, boo.
So mine is probably like top 3 in your book, but I didn't see it as being something that would be even remotely top 5. And
Okay.
I put the Avengers Assemble scene at the end of Endgame as number 8.
You know what? Okay. Normally, I would have agreed had he yelled assemble. But that whisper was so underwhelming for me.
Niggas ain't hear that.
Nobody
Nobody heard that.
Yo, it's over 1 million people on a battlefield with spaceships, and he gonna whisper assemble.
Assemble. Like,
that show you that the white man voice carry more than, never mind. Anyway.
Like, I get it. I mean, okay, it's not the first appearance of every single MCU character that was ever made, and they all got brought back from a catastrophic disaster that happened in Infinity War. But I was like, okay, everybody's together, they just gonna whip some.
It was a big scene in the theaters, but I can see why it was underwhelming.
Yeah.
Anaji,
yes.
Talk to me.
All right, my number 8, probably should have been my number 10, was the elevator fight scene in Captain America.
Winter Soldier. Yep.
Yes, Winter Soldier.
Whoa.
When he whooped all those asses.
So talk to me.
Pretty much, it was a meme for if you got me fucked up. And pretty much he whooped all their asses, like even at like pretty much in an elevator. Imagine being in an elevator, closed space with like at least like 20 people like around you, and you pretty much just like the only person. And they had like devices. These weren't like just regular dudes. These were like trained Hydra and Shield soldiers. Like they was giving him that business, and he still was whooping their ass.
They had to jump out the elevator.
No,
exactly.
I'm sorry, but I have to admit that part where he says before we get started.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody want to get off? That's a cold scene, man.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, Anaji, you won my heart because I'm a Captain America fan. Anyway, I'm just letting you know. Jamil, don't look at me like that. I'm just saying his pick got some sauce on it.
From Philly, and you like Atlanta women. Listen,
brother. There ain't a black man on earth that don't like Atlanta women.
Right.
We'll tell you that right now. Lonzo, impress me.
All right, my number 8.
Trash.
remember.
Your negative vibe. Matter of fact, you had negative points.
My number 8. Remember when Thanos in Endgame told them to rain fire?
Right.
So we thought it was a wrap right then. Everybody looking butt. Everybody running, scared for their life.
Looking butt.
And they look up in the sky.
Everybody looking butt.
They see Captain Marvel come through like, hold up. Now what y'all talking
Power
about?
of the Karen.
And flew through the ship, broke it all down. That was one of the most glorious things I've ever seen in my life. And I'm gonna put that at number 8.
Okay, why is that not higher in your opinion?
Because a lot of people slept on it. And I mean, I didn't want to just put it up there like to battle with some of the iconics. But to me, that was one of my favorite scenes of all time in like superhero moviedom. Like just seeing her fly through that shit was just something I didn't expect. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So you had the element of surprise to it.
Right.
All right, gentlemen. Round 8 is over. I'm going to check the chat real quick to see if anybody has any input to give as far as who they believe won that round, whether it was Grandmaster Fax, Lonzo, Jay, or Anaji. We had a lot of good picks, and honestly, to keep things moving along, unless somebody jumps in, y'all need to be putting your comments in while you're hearing it. Why didn't Captain Marvel do the snap? Well, that's a great question. One in which
very, very good question.
Because Robert Downey Jr.'s contract was up.
Yeah.
All right.
But his senses are tingling. All right. Well, I'll put it like this. Number 8 is the best of the bottom 3. And if I have to give a point to somebody who really kind of hit the nail on the head, I'm going to go ahead and get at the Anaji. Listen, y'all can feel away. But I'm telling you right now, that scene alone, does anybody want to get off? And the fact that you got the opportunity to revisit the scene later on in Endgame and got the whisper instead, and he showed how smart he was with it. To me, that's a good number 8 because there are better scenes in that movie, but that's an iconic scene. We'll never forget Captain America in the elevator. Point goes to Anaji. Let's go on to the 7th round.
That clearly says Jay like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
It was because you put it in there.
Yeah, but you didn't say no rules. You said who can vote. So technically,
you know what?
That won that round for me.
Listen, no. Everybody said good answer. You right. I know. I listen. I'm rocking with y'all. I know what the people like. Look, we're gonna go ahead on, Jay, and you keep cheating if you want to. You're gonna end up in the penalty box. I ain't playing.
I'm not cheating. I'm just working around the rules.
Very colorful. Thank you, Tony Stark. Round 7 begins, and I'm gonna go ahead on and start off with Lonzo.
Oh, okay. So Jamil used this last scene, so I wanted to swap it with one of my honorable mentions.
Oh, you out here really changing up now.
We're allowed to do that, right?
Hey, listen. You could be your number 7 could be whatever he wanted to be, but I might not have a picture for it.
All right, so my number 7 is gonna be when Spider-Man grabbed the shield in Civil War.
Ooh.
He jumped out. Everybody was waiting for that scene. First time we seen him really show up in the MCU, and it was the way he did it was so Spider-Man-like. You know what I'm saying? Like, jumped out, grabbed it with the web, posed a little bit, said something stupid afterwards. You know what I'm saying? It was perfect.
It was one of those. It was one of those scenes where you're like, you know what? We here now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the MCU had already been good, but now it took on a larger than life aspect when they finally brought Spider-Man to the big screen. Right. I like that one, Lonzo. Anaji, impress me.
Actually, it was similar to that. It was when they had all the Avengers in Civil War, like standing off, and they're about to like that running scene where they're like running to each other. Like,
Gotcha. I know what you're talking about.
Come to a head, and then like soon as they get to battle, you see them like fighting, like the Spider-Man dodging shit, Falcon and them flying everywhere. That was like a hype scene. So.
No, I actually really like that scene because that's where you kind of see that square off moment, like old westerns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right for everybody, but some good and the bad and the ugly type vibe.
Oh yeah.
All right, Jamil. I don't like this attitude.
Willie, get on the scoreboard. Hold up.
Come on, Jamil, talk to me.
Nah, man. I don't even like what I'm about to say now because those other two scenes were kind of dope.
At least you know.
But I ain't like no punk. I ain't gonna switch it up mid-game, Lonzo.
Oh damn.
Whoa.
You know,
shots fired.
Ultron when Cap almost picked up the hammer and had Thor shook.
Oh,
and the reason why I looked at him like, and the reason why I put that there because at the time we thought it was just something fun, but they set up the whole situation. So I was like, yeah, okay. So that had to be that's my thing.
I don't know. I'm kind of glad that you went with that. If I'm being honest, because that's actually a really good pick.
Yeah.
Because I remember when that glass moved, Thor was like, "Oh."
He got shook.
He did. And like you said, low key, I forget where I read it, but they said that Cap actually could have picked it up then, but he didn't do so Thor would save face.
Right.
Yeah, because Thor said he always knew. When he actually picked it up, Thor was like, I fucking knew it.
I knew it. Yeah. Thor knew what with the game. Listen, Steve Rogers is the most apple pie wholesome. He didn't even like cursing for the first 3 movies.
I know, right?
Profanity. Anyway, Grandmaster Facts, you round out the last of round 7. Impress us.
All right. So what I put down for round 7 was the Bifrost fight from Ragnarok, from Thor Ragnarok. Why? Because it's a cosmic scene, of course, but you have Thor in it, you have a Ren werewolf, you have Loki, you have Scourge, you have Hulk, you have Hela, you have fucking Surtur, you have all these cosmic characters that basically me, because I'm a big fan of the cosmic universe in Marvel Cinematic Universe. I saw all these characters in one big fight on the Bifrost with Heimdall and everybody. Idris was out there.
Idris was putting in work.
This scene with all those characters on that one scene on the Bifrost Bridge was fucking phenomenal for me. Loki coming out of the smoke with the 2 blades.
That's a solid pick, Grandma. Listen, y'all making it real difficult for me, and I almost don't want to even moderate this no more because your picks is just your picks are spot on. I personally feel like this is a setup for me not to have no friends at the end of this because it's real difficult. I'm looking in the chat. I'm waiting to see if anybody says anything.
I'm starting to think that Grandmaster Facts done slid him a little money, y'all.
Oh, man.
Listen, he makes a very valid point. And I get where he's coming from because that was a dope scene. But this one got to go to Jamil. And I'm going to tell you why. I ain't throwing you no bone either. I ain't throwing you no bone. I'm not throwing you no bone.
Appreciate you,
That's a good scene.
Because here's my thing. This is the reason why. It's a good number 7 scene. I think Grandmaster Facts is more of in somebody's top 5. Now, I got to hear his top 5. But I think your scene sets up the greater scene in the end. It's a good number 7. And it's one of those moments where I remember in the theater, everybody had Thor's face. So you got a solid point. Stop all your bitching.
Oh, man.
Hey.
Right now, folks, it is all tied up 4-4. Everybody got a point in the first 4 rounds. That's how tough this is. This is how tight of a competition this is. Ain't nobody. This is just shows you where the nerddom is. Everybody's equally matched. But now you got to straight. Now we starting to get into the mid round. Now we gonna see who got the longevity to actually get into the final stretch of this thing.
Yeah.
So that's right. Readjust your cheeks. If you look, stretch your backs because let's get this going. Round 6. Let's go. And we're going to start off with the big tuna.
Oh, big tuna.
Come on, small tuna.
Whoa. So
I just caught that. I was like, oh.
So my number 6 will be, y'all remember in Civil War when Bucky jumped out that window? We didn't know what was gonna happen. So we heard that Wakanda flute. And my man Black Panther came out and said, nigga. You killed my daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Let me put the pause on you.
So Black Panther's debut Civil War is my number.
All right, I like that, Lonzo. I like that.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Fats, talk to me.
My number 6 was, and I know it's probably high on y'all's, the introduction of Wakanda. Night scene where they go past the barrier and you actually get to see Wakanda, the city, flying over top of like the horizon and shit. And you actually get to see what a utopia actually looks like.
Afrofuturism at its best.
At its best. As soon as they crossed that barrier and you actually saw and you see the Dora Milaje homegirl was all talking about like, we are home. I was like, damn, look at the city, yo.
Yo, yeah. Yo, that was one of the first times where I was like, I need to book a flight to wherever that is. Cause
straight up.
All right, I definitely like that scene. And Najee, talk to me.
First of all, I'm gonna need Grandmaster Facts to stay the fuck up off my list.
Oh, you missed.
That is my number 6 right there.
That's your number 6? Oh, shit.
The intro to Wakanda. Basically, that's hovercraft. You flying over Africa, you see the mountains and everything. And they're just like, we're about to hit the destination. And they go flying into the thing. And you see the land and everything. As soon as you go into they start hovering down towards the trees and boom, they're like in this damn mecca of like everything. And I was like, oh shit, damn, I want to live in Wakanda. And then the music hitting everything. It was like, dun, 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 dun.
I think showing that to us was such a big tease because there wasn't a black person in the theater because we was all dashiki'd up and cosplayed up. We wanted to be there immediately.
Nigga, that was like Zamunda times 20.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was.
Yes. I gotta get out of America. Anyway, all right, come on, Jamil. Impress me. Talk to me, brother.
I can't be mad about who wins number 6 because we all on the same vibe. And I'm glad you showed that scene. When Black Panther said I never freeze, that was everybody's line for a hot minute.
I never freeze.
I never freeze. You gotta say it. You gotta say it with the accent.
Listen,
I never
I'm
freeze.
ready to do accents. Y'all can do it, but when we talk memorable moments, I'm talking about what people talked about, shared memes. I mean, that scene right there, everybody loved it. I never freeze. However y'all say y'all do it, whatever. But that right there was it was simple, it was dope, and that just set him off. He was literally fearless. And round 6 go to Black Panther, baby. Like, listen, straight up.
I'm gonna say this. The dope thing about that scene was not only did he say I'll never freeze, but then by the end of it, he was frozen.
He definitely frozen.
He was definitely. That's what saved his life. The fact that he did freeze. So
definitely froze.
If you're in the chat, let me know how y'all feel. Talk to me. This is round number 6, and you got to hear. I got 2 Wakandas and a possible. With Grandmaster Flex and the Najee both picking the introduction of Wakanda. My man Jay picking I Never Freeze. Alonzo, remind him one more time of your pick.
When Civil War, Black Panther pull up.
The intro of Black Panther.
Oh yeah. Oh, y'all Black Panther all the way around. I love it.
Yep.
No, right? It got crazy.
All right, I'm waiting to see if anybody says anything in the chat. If not, the fact that 2 people picked the same one, I ain't split no points, so y'all might as well go ahead on. I'm not picking that. The introduction to Black Panther and that Bucky fight was super dope but I gotta go with I Never Freeze. You see, you wave. No, you waving me. You over here waving me in these streets, and I'm about to pick you.
I wasn't waving. I was stretching.
Yeah, whatever, man. Your cheeks is too high. You're lying. I know.
I'm trying to fan you, bro. Like, go ahead.
Provoke the point.
Well, no. Here's what sold me. You made a very good point. It was culturally significant because of how that was everybody's line. I never freeze. Outside of Wakanda Forever, that was one of the more popular memes about never freezing. So you made a solid argument, and based on the other picks, round 6 goes to Jamil.
I object.
I'm pretty sure y'all should, because I don't know how I was going to figure out how I was going to split that for y'all. All right, sorry, real quick. I'm getting Amber Alerts on all my devices. Anybody else get Amber Alerts about them shutting down Philly? Man, that's scary time. Scary times we live in, brothers. I'm glad we're doing this than being in them streets and everybody's safe. All right, moving on. That was round 6, and now we have reached the halfway mark, halftime. It's about to get serious because now we're about to get into our top 5. Now, I told him I was watching them, and this is where the rubber meets the road. So go ahead, Mr. Stretch Armstrong. Jamel, set us off with your top 5, and trust me, I got my eye on you.
My number 5 is why is at the halfway point? Because it was so relevant. Everybody wanted it. Even when the whole thing kicked off, everybody wanted it. And then we knew it was coming. And when it happened, everybody flew out their seats. When Spider-Man showed up in Civil War, straight up. That's my number 5.
With who? Oh, Spider-Man. Oh, the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man showed up.
Okay, I like that.
You stole it off my list.
Lonzo, talk to me.
I didn't use no honorable mentions, bro.
All right, so
I
like that one. Hey, listen, I got a couple in the clip, man. It's all good. You know what I mean?
So talk to me.
My number 5 would be the Welcome to Wakanda. When we first got to see Wakanda. That's my top 5. You know what I'm saying? Our first time getting into Wakanda, seeing the city.
So basically what Grandmaster Fax and Anaji said in round 6 is your top. 6. It's in your number 5 of top 5.
5 for me. Yeah.
Okay.
I object.
All right.
Whatever. You know
so Anaji, you tell me what's the top 5?
Top 5. Casino fight scene in Black Panther.
Oh my
God. Somebody said that in the chat.
Hey,
with the Kendrick music in the background. Okay.
That shit was brilliant. The whole cinematography, how they went from one edge to the other, the music, like the drums, everything, how they went from Okoye whooping ass to Nakia whooping ass to Black Panther whooping ass. It was just the whole setup and how they just had the camera do it, and how Ryan Coogler said how he had to set it up to like get that shot, them shots. So that's why I was like, that has to be mentioned because that was dope as fuck.
Yeah. That was one of the better scenes, and it kind of showed his cinematography chops.
Oh yeah,
and the fact that he used Pan-African colors because Black Panther was in black. It was the other one was which one was in the green
and red?
Yeah, green and red. I forget who was in which color.
The kid was in green.
Thank you. Yeah, help me out, brother, because you know I'm getting old. All right, so casino scene, Black Panther, Grandmaster Fax. You close us out. Show something.
First Avengers movie, the first Avengers team up. That's what I got. Hulk, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America against the Chitauri in New York. That first scene, I never thought I would see that on screen ever in life. And the fact that movie had to happen and you finally got to see like a real fight scene other than seeing it animatedly or in a comic book, seeing that scene in a movie theater for the first time, seeing that fight, seeing them actually together was the dopest shit seen in my life. I'm thinking, okay, this is like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, this shit.
It don't get no better. It don't get it. How can it go up?
That's what I'm saying. Little kids in the theater was like, oh wow, this is great. Me, I'm like fucking running to the front, like, yeah.
All right,
straight up.
let me just say this. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Somebody else mentioned the casino scene. And Najee, that was a dope pick. But I can tell you right now, the round goes to Grandmaster Facts.
What?
Let me tell you something. That scene, y'all act like I didn't already read over your list. I already knew who won what before y'all got here.
Oh my God.
I just my teeth. Hold on.
I just want to. I need y'all.
Wait. So why are we explaining ourselves, bro?
Because you can convince me otherwise, baby. You did.
You didn't think that casino jury to
That's how I knew you was gonna lose. I had already given you 0 points.
Given the climate of what's going on right now, you don't.
The fact that I even gave you a point shows my partiality.
Uh-oh.
But those superheroes,
partiality.
Listen, y'all in Latveria right now. I am Victor Von Doom, and guess what? You're in my town.
When Grandmaster Facts get featured on our show, Concrete win. When we go on his show, he wins. Okay, that's the rules. What we doing here right now?
Yes, boss. I was powerful. Sorry for that. I listen.
Did you read over your contract, bro?
Listen. Let me tell you something. Here's my Cash App. Head Nerds in Charge. Go ahead and hit the cash. Look, see, Grandmaster understands. See, he's a man about his business. He was already.
Come on, brother.
He was like, I'll put the money sign right in the front.
And Lonzo already paid the bill. What's going on?
Lonzo.
I paid the bill. I don't know if it cleared though. You know what I'm saying?
All right, yo, Grandmaster Facts, you gotta go, bro.
Yo, Jamil, I lie to you not. I almost spit water all over the Zoom would have been over. Y'all can't do that to me when I'm sipping water. It done got real dark. It looked like Lonzo escaping to the north with Harriet Tubman. You all right out there, brother?
Hey, I'm good, brother. I'm
all right. I want to make sure you're safe. All right. Right now, as it stands, point totals are Grandmaster Facts with 2. Lonzo, you got 2, right?
No, I think I got 1.
You got 1.
You got 1. You definitely got 1. No, I apologize. Jamil got 2.
I don't need everybody checking my score though. All right, bro?
It's like 21. Nah, you got 7.
Yeah, you got to see. Look, listen.
Free throw, son.
Listen, I accidentally put the wrong stripe near Lonzo's name because I couldn't believe Jamil got 2 points. Sorry about that.
Lord of mercy.
So Lonzo got 1. Grandmaster Facts got 2. Anaji got 2. And Mill somehow seeped out 2. I gotta talk to my staff to see how that happened. But we're moving on to number 4. And for those that are just joining us, we are discussing the top 10 MCU moments. We are now up to number 4. Each round, we discuss the picks of our panel, and somebody comes away with a round. Right now, the score is 2-1, 2-1. And it's a tough, tight race. But this is where the rubber meets the road, and we're going to really see where these geeks' heads is at. Start us off, Lonzo, with your number 4 pick.
All right. Onaja used this one earlier in the game, but Winter Soldier, Cap on the elevator. To me, that's my number 4. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, like y'all said, it was iconic. You know what I'm saying? We never saw nothing like that.
Right.
You know? Him on the elevator fighting mad people. Don't get no better for that. For me, with Captain America, man.
I don't think that's top 5.
I have a hard time with top 5. It is super iconic, and I'm not going to hold you against that. But there's still the chat. See, if y'all would have sent some ringers in the chat, you might have been winning something.
Right.
But right now, you better DM somebody.
Texas cats.
Yo, you was like, I need you to jump on right now.
Hold on. I got a couple people on payroll. Oh.
But Lonzo, I have to admit, that's a solid number 4. That's a solid number 4, and it's Captain America, so I happen to love that. Jamil, talk to me. Who's your number 4?
I'm going to have to throw a curveball. All right? Because the Bucky versus Iron Man and Captain America and Bucky versus Iron Man is utilized.
Ooh.
And so But another scene I remember everybody loving, because we're talking about memorable moments.
You spit it out.
Right?
All right. Come on.
When in Black Panther, when the agent touched T'Challa, and Okoye jumped in and said, if he touches you again, I'm going to what she said? I'm going to impale him to the desk. And then he's like, she's speaking English, and she's like, when she wants to. Like, everybody loved that shit. All the females loved that. Okoye gave females life.
Mute them.
In the MCU, in the movies. And that's what that's my curve.
All right. Solid pick, but that underwhelms me greatly. Underwhelms me greatly, sir. And I like you playing up to the ladies in the chat, because you must have looked at who was all in there. And y'all gonna make me look real crazy for not picking you. I see what you're doing, Jamil. You ain't slick. You ain't slick. Grandmaster Facts.
I don't got a chance. I ain't from Atlanta and I ain't from Philly. So I don't know what to tell you.
You tied up with the lead. Hush your mouth. Grandmaster Facts, talk to me.
All right, I got post-credits scene, Iron Man, Nick Fury discussing the Avengers Initiative for the first time to Iron Man, so you knew what the fuck was coming.
He's cheating.
Yo, y'all can't be mad at me. I'm sorry.
I froze up.
No. He dropping down. He's Steph Curry y'all from the half flop.
Look at my number 2, bro.
Yeah. Stop giving away the stuff. I know how this is supposed to play out, but I see how. Listen, Grandmaster Facts is dropping dimes.
Grandmaster Facts will never be invited. He will never be able to come to the barbecue.
Lonzo wasn't to get Grandmaster Facts.
Lonzo miss me with all that, Kurt. You matter of fact,
what idea was it to get Grandmaster Facts?
I'm gonna pass that to Anaji.
All right.
So Anaji,
Anaji, come on, bring us home, brother.
Well, actually, mine is a more sentimental approach. I'm going to go with Yondu's send-off. That moment.
Classic.
It was real beautiful because you got to see how, not only, because the theme of the movie was family. So you got to see all of them together. And then also Yondu never really got the respect he deserved. So when he actually made that ultimate sacrifice and the Ravagers all came and sent him off, that was like a moment.
That was good shit.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. As much as
that's a dope.
I think that Grandmaster Facts had the more popular scene amongst the nerds, Anaji kind of spoke to one of the few scenes that people cried on. Tony Stark dying.
Oh yeah.
Tony Stark dying was probably the biggest one where people cried. Peter Parker disappearing in dust. But that Yondu scene was one of the first times where I was like, okay, my eyeballs are sweating. What's going on? I never had a daddy. Right. And he doggone sure wasn't named Mary Poppins. So, so round 4 goes to my man Anaji. For being sentimental and showing black men's soft side, because we cry too, y'all. We cry too.
We do.
Good one. Good pick. All right, now, here's what we're looking at. Grandmaster Facts with 2. Lonzo bringing up the rear with 1. Jamil has 2, and Anaji has 2. We got 3 rounds left to go. Top 3. This is it. These are your top 3 most iconic moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This has got to be the creme de la creme, the best of the best. Now, I didn't already heard scenes where I thought they would have been up in the top 3. So I'm just as interested as y'all to see where they go with this. We're going to start off with Anaji.
Yes.
That's right. You got to be ready, baby.
All right. My number 3 is going to Ladies Rallying in Endgame.
Ooh, Ladies Night. I call that Ladies Night.
A-Force. When you see all the women, they just she's like, Peter Parker was like, how you going to get through all them? And then all of them just we got the shit.
We got you.
And you see Okoye stab Corvus Clave and take him down. You see Gamora doing what she do. and Valkyrie flying with her Pegasus through the air, and all of them just whooping ass. I love it. It was awesome.
That's one of my favorite. Hey, listen, that's one of my favorite scenes in Endgame.
Yeah.
All right, Jamil, talk to me.
Endgame, Captain America picking up Thor's hammer.
I feel like you already saw that. You already said that.
No, Endgame, and he goes out, he's busting.
When he grabbed,
when he actually grabbed it, and he's listen, in the whole MCU, he did it better than Thor. I don't care anybody said that scene, he went off. And with the combination with the hammer and the shield, plus Captain America's athleticism, that scene was so dope. When that shit came out, I rewinded it over and over and over. Come on, bro. That was like the dopest scene in the whole MCU. That's it. Enough said. Endgame.
I mean, but he like
point goes to Jamil or Najee. Point goes to Jamil. Grandmaster Facts, don't even say nothing. Lonzo, shut up.
I have to admit, you pulled out the big guns pretty early. And that's going to impact you in the next 2 rounds, because that's a number 1 scene for me. Because that right there, that was my geek. That was everything coming together at once. Because everybody remembers that iconic scene when he did it in the comic books. Mm-hmm. So if you do get this point, just know you shot your shot. You better have a damn good number 1 and 2. Lonzo, talk to me. What you got?
All right. My top 3 favorite scene in the MCU or favorite moment is when Doctor Strange was facing off with Thanos. When we saw him using the mystical arts against the Infinity Gauntlet, not fully powered Infinity Gauntlet, but he was holding his own with all the mystical arts giving him that work, man. Just the way it looked was so dope to me, man. I just loved it, man.
I think we talked earlier about the bands of Sidorak and that's one of the few times you start seeing him do multiple incantations.
He pulled out stuff we didn't think he had in him.
Yeah, facts.
And was holding his own against the Mad Titan. He lost, but it was still, man, it was for a short moment. That shit was glorious, man.
But my thing is, didn't he lost because he was like, you know what, this is how we got to do it,
right?
Pretty much.
So he might have realistically. Look, he went toe to toe with Dormammu and walked away with it. I ain't say he beat him up, but he walked away from it, which a lot of people.
Time loop.
Yeah,
like he
annoyed him to death.
He could have possibly beat Thanos, but he knew ultimately that this was the one scenario that, you know what I'm saying, he had to do. But I don't know. It was kind of confusing, but still, that moment was glorious, man.
Once we get into time travel, it gets a little, yeah. So all right, Grandmaster Facts, you closing us out. Talk to me.
Mine is a bias pick. It's the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's the introduction of Xandar and the Nova Corps. Why? Because I am a big Nova fan. I'm a Richard Rider, Sam Alexander fan, and to actually see Nova Corps on screen fucking blew my mind. And then, but it literally took me to the fact that I know where the future of the MCU is going to go. It's probably not a big scene for y'all. That was big for me.
What, like, did you read like up on me somewhere? Because Richard Rider is my number 2 overall. Nova Prime, yo, when he gets the Nova Prime, did you read Annihilation?
Feeling me through Annihilation, yes. Feeling me.
I'm sorry, y'all. We had a moment. I'm not cheating.
Hold the plug. Hold the plug.
Yo, the fact that Richard Rider wasn't in any of the Guardians of the Galaxy up to this point is. But don't worry, because I hate to say it, Jabil's right. That scene with Captain America and grabbing Thor's hammer. I'm okay with you putting it in number 3, but you damn sure better have 2 scenes better than that, because that's your last point.
How he get that for number 3,
bro? You think about everything that everybody said. Nothing tops that. Top 3 can be, you can mix and match your top 3, but nobody said a scene more iconic than Captain America grabbing Thor's hammer. It's like having a big joker. Like you can't beat the big joker. But once you use the big joker, you ain't got him no more.
I don't know.
So Jamil, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you just took the lead. You got 3.
What the hell's going on, Anaji? Huh?
Lonzo, you gonna have to eat. You gonna have to work real hard for number 2 and 1 just to break even now.
I ain't doing the goddamn thing. Right?
Grandmaster Facts, you still in it, and Najee, you still in it. Y'all need both rounds to be crowned winners. Trust and believe me, I got a hard time seeing Jamil get another point after using that last one.
Wait. Can round 1 and 2 have extra points, like 5 points each?
No.
Lonzo, stop trying to manipulate the situation.
I'm trying to win this, baby.
Listen, when that Cash App go off, we'll talk. Jay, Jamil, and I'm coming right at your neck. What's your number 2?
Yeah. Listen. From the beginning, we talked about memorable scenes.
Oh my God.
Everybody, y'all can roll your eyes all you want. I went into this with that expectations. I could have went with my favorite scenes. I thought what everybody talked about. Yo, all end credits. Every last one of them. Listen, memorable scenes is my number. That's my number 2.
He's cheating.
That's not
you definitely that you automatically, and I knew that's where you were going to go with it, and that's why I knew you weren't going to get the next round, because you can't say all in-game scenes. I mean, in credit scenes.
Why not? Everybody talked about the end credits, right? Then nobody talked about one more than the next. Everybody went to the movie, see the movie, and waited for the end credits.
It's deducted. You ain't getting that round. Keep it moving. Anaji, what's next?
My number 2 will be
he turned off his camera.
Final battle scene and Thor Ragnarok when Thor powers up and unleashes hell on the
Bifrost. The Bifrost fight.
And basically, like the Van Halen song they played during it. Come on, how did you not get hyped for that?
Sorry, that was terrible, but you get the point.
The immigrant song.
Hey, for those that might not be familiar, it's up on the screen. It's basically the Bifrost fight, one of the best scenes in the MCU from start to finish, from music to action. And like Grandmaster Facts and Anachi said already, it had Hulk, it had Heimdall, it had Loki.
It had Valkyrie, and who else?
Third came out at the end.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So that's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. Lonzo, talk to me. I know what you're about to say.
We all thought Thor was gonna die in Endgame. Thanos had that thing to his chest. He had the blicky on him.
You did have the blicky.
And all we see is that little hammer lift up. And we look and my man's got that. Captain America grabbed the hammer. You know what I'm saying? I know Jamil used that for 3 and he won. So that's kind of cheating.
I ain't going front. Grandmaster Facts got to have a real good one to beat. Once again, that scene could be anywhere in somebody's top 3, and it's probably the hypest scene in the entire MCU. So I'm being real generous with letting y'all go ahead on. But trust and believe me, I've already figured out how I'm going to do tiebreakers. So don't worry about it, because if we got to go into extra innings, we good. Grandmaster Facts, what you got?
All right.
Oh.
All right.
Love is real.
Killmonger scene, and the Killmonger speech end scene in Black Panther, the speech with bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage.
Oh no.
Just that one speech right there. That's number 2 for me.
All right, I'm just going to say this. Jamil, you know you might not even say nothing. Between the three of y'all making this real difficult. So I'm going to the chat. I need the chat to speak up and help me. Help me, nigga. Help me.
The chat can't handle the truth.
Yo, between the Killmonger speech, Bury Me in the Ocean, which was probably, if you didn't love Killmonger before that, you were like, you know what? We got to give him a pass.
The best one-liner dialogue in all the MCU.
Fact.
Any villain.
Facts. Even more than Iron Man, in my opinion. Lonzo hit us over the head. Yep. Lonzo hit us over the head with Captain America, with Thor's hammer, and Anaji. He picked one of the best action scenes in MCU, period. I need a little bit of help. I need you guys to pick who you think should take away the point between Grandmaster Fax, Lonzo, and Anaji, because I don't want to be the bad guy in this and make this decision. So please.
With Anaji.
Right.
The other two I don't like.
Oh, dang. Shots fired.
And Grandmaster Fax is not you personally. You just, you're a feature guy. So to get the rule from you both, if you get off, and I go back to the concrete household, they're going to jump me.
I got it.
Yeah, right, we're going to jump you.
And
was like,
so it's not you, Grandmaster. Don't take it personal.
I got it.
It's all
I'm taking it personal.
I hate. Listen, a lot of people are. So I got Killmonger for one.
Listen. Cancel those comments out. They don't count.
And I just pick.
Hold
on, let me type it.
Don't you give him this goddamn point?
We're going with Anaji.
Don't you do this, Kurt? Kurt.
Day, my pick was Thor powering up at the end of Thor Ragnarok. She asked the question.
Thor grabbing the hammer. Number 2, saving Thor's life, Captain America.
Yo. Yeah, Thor, yeah. All right, look, y'all. I can't be a hypocrite. Lonzo got to take this point. And it's tough. It's tough because I got Thor's hammer twice. I got a Killmonger, and I think Tef was mulling over Naji's pick, but look, we at the number 2, and Lonzo, you basically just sucked up a point. So you trying to tighten this thing up all the way around. Point goes to Lonzo.
Hey.
Oh, she said Cap grabbing Thor's hammer. Everybody gave it to Lonzo. Everybody gave it to Lonzo.
That's been used already.
It doesn't matter. It's definitely
that's cheating.
It's a definite. Listen, now here's the problem.
I didn't know that.
For anybody that uses that for their number 1, it's already been used in round 2 and 3. People not gonna have the same love.
Oh, so now we added rules.
No, I didn't say. I know. I'm just
now
talking.
We added rules.
People in the chat now. They watching. They looking at you.
Listen,
mute Jamil. Mute Jamil. Mute him.
All right, here we go.
Number 1.
On the curveball.
Lonzo has 2. Hey. Grandmaster Fax has 2.
Hey.
Anaji has 2.
Hey.
Jamil has 3.
Wow.
So, he definitely has 3.
How?
Bro. So I'm going to just say this. To lock up the game and win it all, Jamil, your number 1 has to win. If you don't win this, you will face somebody in a final nerd off.
Okay.
We all might have the same damn answer.
Anaji, Grandmaster Fax, and Lonzo, y'all 3 are all tied. If one of you get this point, you'll end up facing Jamil in a nerd off.
Okay.
And play around in Mortal Kombat.
No, brother. I'm going to give you trivia questions, and we're going to go question for question until somebody gets a wrong answer.
I'm terrible at that shit.
Good. Then you shouldn't you shouldn't have came on the game show.
Listen, I'm a fighter. I'm gonna go down with a fight.
No. I don't want to hear no more lip.
That's too much pressure.
Well, you want to bail out now? We can mute you.
Hell no.
All right, then let's go. As a matter of fact, we're going right back at your neck. What's your number 1 since you're talking so much?
Yo, post credit scene, Iron Man, when Nick Fury showed up and everybody got hyped, and he talked about the Avengers Initiative. Everybody went hype, and people that didn't even sit in the cinema to watch it went back and watched it so they could see the post credit scenes. just for that. And ever since then, that set up a whole wave of post-edit everything. So Nick Fury showing up, setting up the Avengers Initiative, and that's all we waited for was the Avengers to show up. Grandmaster Fact, that was like your number 4, I believe.
Yeah,
that was my number 4. Yep.
Yes. Memorable scenes, not favorite dope scenes, people.
We have a comment. I'm telling you right now, we have a comment from the chat that says, if your number 1 isn't I Am Iron Man, they're coming to your house to fight you. I know what y'all number 1s are.
I'll leave the screen door unlocked for you then.
Listen. I know what some of y'all number 1s is. I'm gonna give y'all a good 5 or 6 seconds to really think about it. That's where you want to go.
That's not fair.
Look, Negro.
No,
that is not fair.
Keep it right where we at.
I got gas. Exactly. I need to settle my stomach real quick. I'm taking it for me. Can I just play that off, please?
Judge, jury, now God.
Lonzo.
Yo.
All right. I'm coming right down the line. Anaji, talk to me. What's your number 1?
All right, number 1. Damn it. It's going to be Avengers Assemble Endgame Final Battle. Right there where you see Cap standing up against Thanos and you see his whole army just flooding on the on the scene. And Cap just standing there by himself, broken shield, broken man, just no hope or no pot to piss in. And then next thing you know, you hear with intercom, Cap to your left. And then Falcon, the portals open up and them niggas ascend.
I love it. Listen, you that right there is definitely a damn good number 1. Here's the only thing.
Oh shit.
No. Here's the only thing. It depends on what Lonzo says next, because things might get a little funky. Lonzo.
Yo. All right, so listen. Me and Anaji got the same time frame right here, right?
Okay.
So my favorite part was when Cap was sitting there chilling and he heard his little thing in his ear in his man's. The one voice, I think that was the last voice he heard when they all disappeared as well. But his man said, "On your left."
They won't know what they are.
Then first of all, brother, I need you to chill, right? And then,
30 seconds was up.
And then all the portals open up. He heard my man say, "On your left." And that's when everybody came. That was my favorite scene of the movie, On Your Left.
Your favorite scene?
Let me tell you something. That scene is beyond iconic. You both picked that scene. I'm gonna let it rock. For anybody that's not familiar, this is the scene that they're talking about. That On Your Left moment is Lonzo's moment. I'm going to say the Avengers Assemble is Anaji's. Them just to differentiate between the two. Lonzo's is On Your Left. That first time he heard that scene. Anaji's is the same scene, but later on, where Cap is staring down Thanos and says, Avengers Assemble, in the Yin Yang Twins voice. Because he whispered the hell out of that. Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Avengers Assemble. I'm trying to be, come on, y'all know. Grandmaster Facts.
All right. So my number 1 is Thanos finally collecting the last Infinity Stone, aka the Snap, aka the Decimation. This is the Empire Strikes Back moment of the MCU. The villain who's been the villain of this entire saga finally got his. As a matter of fact, it took out some of your favorite heroes. There was motherfuckers crying in the movie theater. Why? Because after he collected all them goddamn stones, and there was no post-credit scene. The whole fucking screen went black. Niggas was losing their minds. They thought that their favorite heroes was gone for fucking ever. And they had to wait a whole fucking year in order to get redemption.
But wasn't that sad though? That wasn't a really great moment. That was some sad.
That was the moment.
Nobody's doing memorable moments.
Hey,
I'll pick and choose now because he picked a good one.
Listen,
wait. Grandmaster Facts shouldn't be allowed to explain after his answer. He's professional.
He be making you believe. I be like, you know what? That is a doggone good point. Man. He got facts.
Right.
I have facts. You ain't say that.
Jamil, I'm 2 seconds from muting you.
2 seconds.
I
A whole 11 seconds to go.
I'm always 2 seconds from muting you. So this is really difficult for me because everybody people in the chat are saying that in-game scene, and somebody just said the snap is it, which is basically when he assembles all the, the snap. When he gets all the infinity gems, the snap comes right after that.
Yeah.
So y'all need to help me out now. I need y'all in the chat to talk to me.
Left.
Now, Tef, I know Iron Man is your pick, but the picks that we have, the snap is the best moment. Ooh, that's 2 for the snap. Y'all not listen, and this ain't Kurt. This is not Kurt. Oh, we got an assemble. That means that's a Najee right there. So now it's on your left. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, that's you, Lonzo. You're a cheating nigga. You ain't shit, boy.
Y'all like positive moments, man. The snap was the negative moment.
Yeah.
You need a low point.
Get the hell out of the damn.
On your goddamn left. God damn it.
I hate to say it. They being real animate about the snap.
Yeah.
Lord, Tef said on your left, man.
Okay, this shit is set up.
All right. Y'all killing me.
On your left, y'all.
Y'all gotta pick one person. Y'all look, let me come out of it. Y'all need to look these people in the face because y'all not gonna make me out to be the bad guy. Look, it's the
okay. Let's block Addison Lee because
blocked.
Look, Thanos assembling. Thanos assembling all the gems and then the snap. Lonzo on your left. Anaji. Avengers assemble. Jamil isn't in this anymore. Jamil say with Nick Fury bringing the Avengers initiative to Tony Stark.
Come on, look.
But Terrence, we know it's the final fight scene, but what part? Is it on your left or is it Avengers Assemble?
Terrence, we counting on you, brother. On your left. Come on now.
It really is tied up all across the
Terrence, come on, baby.
It's the snap.
What jump started everything.
Terrence.
Nick Fury.
Avengers Assemble.
Can somebody please mute Jamil, please?
Without the Avengers Initiative, there's no end game. We always hype about that.
Look, Terrence said
Avengers Assemble.
Oh, listen.
There it is. Listen. That's the one. That was the tiebreaker. Grandmaster Facts. You are a formidable opponent, and brother, this was not a Kurt decision at all. This was not a Kurt decision. Lonzo, Big Tuna,
you can do this to me.
Lonzo, Anaji, and Jamil. Y'all go head to head. Now, Grandmaster Facts and Lonzo, please stick around. Don't you dare go nowhere because we still in this. I need you to boo Jamil through this final tiebreaker. This is it, gentlemen. I'm going to give you